making sense of it so that you can get a clearer picture.
I've collected 500 billion, and I can only show you boreholes.
It's politics.
For me, it is what I call Iberberism. I beg your pardon. Go and search for it, my friend.
It's current affairs.
4 years course, metamorphosing into 6 years.
And news that affects you.
What an academic academic yo in their leadership rococo, leadership brababare.
It's all the serious stuff.
But with a light-hearted twist.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
And I'm Aghogho.
Join us 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weekday.
Right here.
On Hard Facts. On Hard Facts.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. Aghogho is in a meeting at the moment, and hopefully he's going to join us before we end today's episode of Hard Facts. Your first hard fact of the day: Ojuza Carlo is asking for bail on health grounds. Remember, he's been sentenced to 12 years for corruption, but is currently appealing his conviction. So now he's saying he wants bail so that he can be out of prison and getting medical attention while the appeal is ongoing. And I heard somebody say, why can't the doctors come and treat him in the prison? Now, we're not releasing you here on Hard Facts. I go on air here every weekday to give you the best insights into today's most important topics. We bring them to you, we break them down, we give you the facts, and you can form an informed opinion. If you miss any show, get on Facebook, get on YouTube, get on Twitter, Nigeria Info FM, and watch. We've got a great show for you today. We're starting, as always, with the big three. Inflation rises again in November as border closure continues. Fuel consumption also rises in spite of border closure. And the House of Reps rejects a bill to increase presidents' and governors' terms to 6 years. On Community Report today, Chukwudi Ezekwesili, the caretaker of Lagos, is at Oniru Market. He wants to find out how prices are faring with the Christmas almost upon us. Another big hard fact: we're going to continue our year in review series by looking at the year in power. It's going to be a deep dive into the headlines from the power sector in 2019. And then we'll hand you over to Rufai Oseni. As usual, throughout the show, we're bringing you the latest updates from the world of news, sports, and entertainment. And we may also be taking you over to Abuja, where the president will be signing the 2020 appropriation bill. So keep your eyes peeled for that particular event. When it happens, we'll take you over to Abuja as well. But let's get started. I'm so excited with the big three.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
You know what to expect from the big three stories that everybody is talking about right now. How is the inflation hitting your pocket? If the border closure is stopping false smugglers, why is our fuel consumption increasing? Do you support or oppose 6-year single terms? Let's get into these stories. Inflation went up yet again in November. The inflation rate has gone up every month since the Nigeria Customs Service closed the land borders, but this was the biggest increase so far. The MBS is reporting that November's year-on-year consumer price index is 11.85%, the highest level in over a year and a half. Also, the food inflation rate is now 14.48%, up from 14.09% in October. Remember that Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed directly linked the current accelerated inflation on the border closure, which has restricted supply of food. So yes, inflation is still rising. I'm sure we're sounding like a broken record by now. When the border closure was first announced, we brought some of the top economists in Nigeria on this show, and they all said the same thing. The border closure will increase food prices, and this will lead to faster inflation. In fact, I've spoken to so many economists off air about this, and none of them are surprised that this is happening. And I want us to talk about this in practical terms. Christmas is in 8 days' time. Most people don't have the money to shop for Christmas before September or October or November. Many Nigerians actually shop for Christmas in December. So imagine how difficult this Christmas shopping has been for people who have had to spend more money in the last 3 months than they previously planned because of this inflation caused by a border closure that could have waited until after Christmas at the very least. Now, let me come back to the planning of this border closure. Let's leave aside whether or not it's a good policy, because I'm expecting Rotimi to call me and say, no, Sandra, we as journalists, we have to. But let's leave aside whether or not it's a good or bad policy. Let's talk about how it was executed. It was done without warning. We talked about how this has affected Nigerian businesses that move goods across the border. We talked about how some of them had their products stuck at the border. So businesses lost money, but they are not the only ones affected. Like I said, the average Nigerian is planning their end of year. Suddenly, prices are going up without warning because this policy was executed without warning. And there are a lot of Nigerians who are saying, I did not have time to plan for this. And so the question is, could the Nigerian government not have given Nigerians an advance notice? But even bigger than that is, how is inflation affecting you? Has it made you spend more this Christmas than you planned to? Or has it made you reduce your spending and step down your Christmas? And then why do you think the Nigerian government did not wait until the new year, or did not give Nigerians advanced notice? I'll hear your thoughts after the break. Our numbers are 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, 01277 3993. We also have WhatsApp, and you can send a message via WhatsApp 080 959 75805. And of course, you can leave us your thoughts on Facebook. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3.
Stay right here on the Big Three on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is the Big Three
The Big Three on Hard Facts.
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, Lagos, thank you so much for joining us. Like I said in our first story, inflation went up yet again in November. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. How is inflation affecting you? Has it made you spend more this Christmas than you planned to? Or has it made you reduce your spending and step down your Christmas? And then why do you think the Nigerian government did not wait until the new year or did not give Nigerians advance notice? The inflation rate has gone up every month since the Nigeria Customs Service closed the land borders, but this was the biggest increase so far. The NBS is reporting that November's year-on-year consumer price index is 11.85%, the highest level in over a year and a half. Also, the food inflation rate is now 14.48%, up from 14.09% in October. And you will remember, of course, that the Finance Minister, Ahmed Zainab, directly linked the current accelerated inflation on the border closure, which has restricted the supply of food. That's why I'm asking how it has affected you. Now, inflation is up, but so is fuel consumption. That's our second story. According to the Petroleum Products Pricing and Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, fuel consumption has doubled since September. Doubled from 33.89 million liters to 67.66 million liters. These are the average daily figures from the week between November 28th and December 4th. In that week, subsidy payment, also known as under recovery, stand at 10 billion naira. So we're still gulping fuel. I want to emphasize something. Ever since the borders were closed, we've been told by the government and supporters of the closure that one of the reasons was to prevent fuel smuggling. Government said that because of our subsidized petrol, because of how cheap it is, and it's cheaper than petrol in Benin and Niger, people are smuggling out petrol that is meant for the Nigerian market. And because of these smuggling, we are having to import more petrol than we actually need, and government is having to pay subsidy money on all that petrol, including the one being smuggled out. So the idea was government will close the border and also close filling stations that are within 20 kilometers of the border, and this will reduce smuggling. As smuggling reduces, the amount of fuel being imported and subsidized will drop because there will be no more market for the extra fuel. Abi? Well, now petrol consumption has increased. It has doubled. So we have to ask some hard questions and make some tough assessment. At the very least, we have to ask questions about whether the border closure is actually stopping petrol from leaving the country. Remember that when customs announced that it was closing filling stations near the border, we asked whether they are sure that this will stop smugglers. After all, wouldn't the smugglers just start their journeys from filling stations that are farther away from the border? Well, perhaps they have. Because this thing, it's about money at the end of the day. As long as the price difference between Nigerian fuel and Benin fuel is big, the smuggler will have enough profits to bribe whoever he needs to bribe and move the product as far as he needs to, especially in a country where there are high levels of corruption, even among the government officials who are meant to enforce the rules. And that's the reason why some analysts say that the only sure way to end smuggling is to end the incentive by removing subsidy. So let me ask, are you surprised that fuel consumption has gone up? Do you believe that the border closure is stopping the smugglers? If not, how do you think they're getting past the border? 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, 01277 3993. These are our studio numbers. 01277 1993, 2993, 3993. These are our numbers. You can send a WhatsApp message as well. WhatsApp is 080 959 75805. let's talk to you now. We've got our first caller, Michael. Michael in Abulegba. Sorry about that brief silence you heard. I had to sort something out. Hello, Michael. Thanks for calling the show. Hello, Michael.
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yes, it's nice speaking with you today.
Yes, nice speaking with you as
That's
well.
my first time on the program.
It's your first time. Yay. Compliments of the season.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandra.
Go ahead.
See, let's be sincere and let's be adults here.
Mm-hmm.
The federal government is not serious about this matter. And the agencies that are meant to uphold the law, they are also not serious about the matter. Look, I used to be in the oil and gas system for some time now.
Okay.
And until recently, because of the policies and all that, we backed down a little. I will tell you the fact. Right now, the whole transaction within the border areas still continues. It's business as usual. The only difference now is that these people perpetuating this hack no longer use trucks because trucks have been banned 20 meters away from the border.
Yeah.
So now what they do now is they use their car. Some have even gone to expand their tank, their fuel tank attached to the car. They've gone to expand it, and then they'll go to 20 meters outside the border area, fill the tank, come back, and offload whatever it is in the tank, sell it out. So these people coming from the other side to buy, and they can do this forth and back more than 5-6 times a day. Oh, yes, this is exactly what happened.
See the stress.
Go and investigate. This is it. This is what is happening. You know, it has even gone worse. Some are using Okada. You know, if you make your findings, you will find out that the traffic along that axis has tripled, if not more.
Interesting.
And this is because these vehicles keep going and coming. And the security agencies know this. They know that, as a matter of fact, depending on the number of times you go through that route, you pay. Every single time you go and come back, you pay them.
Michael.
They will tell you, look, my friend, just give us our own this in mango chop. This is what they do.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's really nothing has really changed, if I can tell you.
All right, Michael, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. And make sure you call us again. We loved talking to you today. Don't forget that everybody gets 1 minute, 30 seconds. That's how much time you get on air. I was very generous with Michael because it's his first time on the show. But everybody from here on out, 1 minute, 30 seconds, because I would like to talk to as many of you as possible. All right, so our next caller is Amaragi. How do I say your name, sir? Amarege, welcome.
Yeah, how are you?
Very well.
Yeah, I've been listening to your program, even today's own.
Okay.
From what you are saying, from the statistics and all that, looks like it will take the second coming of Jesus Christ for Nigerian problems to be solved. Because you drive them to the left, then they will find their way to the right. Drive them to the front, they will find their way to the back. So where do we start from? It's unfortunate. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you for calling and sharing that with me. Hello. Hello. Sorry about that. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name?
My name is Royal, calling from Ireland.
Welcome, Royal.
Yeah, okay, this is border issue. I don't know. Our government, most of them that say that they should not supply fuel 20 kilometers to the border. Are they living this or are they that? Most of them, they are not living at that border. So they don't know what the people in that area, what they are facing.
Do you live there?
I don't live there. So I know that place might be so difficult for those who that live in that area. So for them to put that very low, I don't support them for that.
All right, thanks for calling Royal. Royal is talking about a different thing entirely. Our last call is Mr. Ugo. Hello, Mr. Ugo in Ikorodu. Welcome.
Yeah,
Share your
thank you.
thoughts with me.
Yeah, you see, there is no sincerity in Nigerian government.
Okay.
And that is the problem we are having in Nigeria. They will say one thing and they go and do another thing. You know, the custom officers and the immigration, they know what is going on. They just don't want to tell Nigerians the truth. They are suffering the poor masses. And we are the people that are suffering these things in Nigeria. Please, I will advise the government to open the border. Let people, there are a lot of suffering in Nigeria, and let them stop deceiving people. Let them open the border and let things flow. They should stop deceiving Nigerians. We are tired of their deceit. Please, tell them to open this border. Let all this nonsense stop. They are the people that are benefiting. All this, they know the smugglers and they are doing the business. They know them, and the poor masses are suffering. Please let them open this border and let everybody let this suffering stop. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ogo. They're listening to you. That's a good thing. So perhaps they'll listen to you, Mr. Ogo. Our final story broke shortly before we got on air. The House of Representatives have rejected a constitutional amendment to give presidents and governors a single-year term. The bill came up for second reading today, sponsored by Honorable John Dieg from Benue State. The bill also proposed increasing the terms of National Assembly members from 4 years to 6 years, while retaining unlimited terms for them. Dieg said that the reason for the proposed elongation is to reduce the frequency of elections and save the nation money. In rejecting the bill, members said 4 years are enough for elected officials to execute their mandates. I feel like this is not the first time that we've heard 6-year term, and it's probably not going to be the last. I mean, a lot of observers have wondered about the timing of this constitutional amendment bill. Remember that the president and his aides have said on the record repeatedly that he's not interested in a third term or an extended term. And each time he said it, I've asked, why is he responding to a question that has not been asked? The reason I kept saying that was there had not been any official move or official question about tenure elongation or term limit extension until this bill. Now we have a bill. The House of Representatives has rejected it, but it was proposed. So we have now left the realm of speculation. Somebody officially attempted to elongate elongate and extend the mandate of the president and of governors. And so we have to ask why. John Dieg, a member who proposed the bill, said it was to save costs. If we have elections every 6 years instead of every 4, we reduce the number of elections that we have in a given period. Now, some people say, this is a reasonable suggestion. Elections are very expensive. But others have said that this is a terrible and counterproductive idea for the following reasons. Number one, reducing the frequency of elections make officials less accountable. Government doesn't have money for elections because government isn't managed properly. Why should those running government badly be rewarded with longer terms? And they also say that if we want to save money on elections, why not tackle the corruption and overspending in elections? But that's what they say. What do you say? Are you happy or unhappy that this bill was defeated? Do you agree or disagree with the reasons that were given? Do you support or oppose 1 6-year term for presidents and governors? 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, 01277 3993. WhatsApp is available as well. Send us a WhatsApp message 080-959-75805. 080-959-75805. I want to hear your thoughts via Facebook as well. Facebook is Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info 99.3. That's our Facebook page. So I want to hear your comments. Are you for or against a single 6-year term for presidents and governors? Yasser is in Ikoyi. Hello, Yasser. Thanks for calling me.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to the show, yes, sir.
Yeah, of course, man. I really want to throw out some light on the.
You're live on the show. Go ahead.
Yeah. I really want to throw out some light on the 6-year term they're trying to propose, which I believe Nigeria has no power to do that. Nigeria has no basic a constitutional thing to cover up all those things. They are really deceiving us, and they are not making an effort to change our lives. Life is not stable, and they are trying to secure themselves in the government. Where are we heading to, Sandra? Please educate us more. Where are we heading to? It's confusing. There's nowhere to go to. The border closure is making life so difficult. It's making life so difficult. He's really confused. It's my way. I do go down to the border closure, and it's very tough. You can't go in, you can't go out, anything. It's very tough. Please educate us more, and let's see how this Nigeria will move on.
All right, yes, sir. Thanks for calling me. Don't forget, everybody gets 1 minute, 30 seconds. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Murphy.
Matthew?
Murphy.
Oh, Murphy. Welcome, Murphy. Are you for or against a single 6-year term?
I am totally against it.
Okay.
Yes, I'm totally against because when you say a single term of 6 years for them, they can do whatever they like. But do you know that politicians, they still have the fear of this second time, that if they underperform in their first term, they might not vote them in. You can take, for instance, look at what happened to Ambody in Lagos State, for instance. So I totally against it. Let's just maintain the 4 years, which maybe 8 years for 5 person. So, but I'm totally against the 6 years, I must say.
Totally against it, Murphy says. Ahmed in Lagos Island is against the notion as well. Why, Ahmed? Why are you against it?
Yes, I'm against it because this government, they don't have us at heart. In short, Nigeria government, they don't have us at heart.
But Nigerian government is made up of people like you and me, Ahmed.
Yes, it's made up of people like us. We voted them in there, but when they get there, they change their mind.
So is it not better that they do only 6 years and then go and rest instead of after?
No. You remember, Sandra, the last government of the PDP, they proposed this 6
as
years
well,
where they refused. So why are they bringing it aboard now when people are suffering? Look at this guy. Even the air we breathe, if they have the mix of taking this way away from us, they will take it from us. Those people, they are bastards. They don't have us at heart.
No, let's keep our language clean. Ahmed, sorry, apologies for that. Please, I know how passionate we are about the issues that we talk about, but when you're calling a national radio station, keep your language clean, please. Apologies for that. Adekoya Toyosi says, you that like party, you use your own money to organize Christmas party. They'll come to your party, eat your food, drink your drinks, pack things home. In January, when they're paying their children's school fees, you ask them to lend you some money, they will say no. Only a wise man survives the temptation of December. No matter how the inflation is, Nigerians will always survive. Okay. Abasiono Inyang says, closing of our border is a welcome development. But the problem is that Nigeria's government did not plan well before embarking on the policy. There are some certain things that should have been done before closing the border. On Facebook, we also have Favor, who says all these are big men. Anytime they just cut them from one thing, they will start to say that they are having sickness. Okay, I guess you're talking about Ojus or Carlo. Hello, thanks for calling. Hello, welcome to the show.
Yeah, my name is Sunday from Oboh State.
Sunday, welcome. Go ahead.
I'm totally against for 6 years.
Okay.
For the border closure, the market is still entering. I'm a businessman.
Okay.
And I deal with the right seller. There are some things that I think for Nigeria now. When you reach there, you bribe them. They will allow you to go.
Yeah, but when they enter, are they still cheap or are they more expensive?
It's cheap. Yeah, when we buy it there, it's cheap.
Okay.
Then when you reach the border, you pay total of more than 5,000 naira to 3,000 naira each a bag.
Okay.
To cross it to enter Nigeria.
Okay.
You can buy the rice there 10,000. You can buy it 11,000, 12,000. When you reach the border, you pay 5,000 naira. When you can pay 5,000 naira, it will be 13,000.
So who is collecting the bribes? The customs people?
Yeah. It's because some people, they would then put somebody there in behalf of them They are there monitoring people there. In behalf of them, they will not come directly through them.
I see.
Yeah.
So they will not come to you in their uniforms.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
but how do you know that it's customs people that are coming to you?
They are standing beside there. Then
I see.
And when you refuse to give them, that's when they will come, begin to challenge you. They are current contraband, so this thing, let us go to their office.
I see. Sunday, thank you so much for calling to share your thoughts with me. Hello. Sorry about that. Call us back if you can. If you just joined us, 3 big stories on the Big 3 today. We told you that inflation rose yet again. And we also told you that fuel consumption also rose in spite of border closure. And the House of Reps rejected a bill to increase presidents' and governors' terms to 6 years. These are our Big 3 today. Which of them would you like to address? How's the inflation hitting your pocket? Are things more expensive for you this Christmas, or are they cheaper for you this Christmas? How do you think about what the government did with the implementation of this border closure? And if the border closure is stopping fuel smugglers, why is our fuel consumption increasing? And then finally, do you support or oppose single 6-year terms? 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, and 01277 3993. On WhatsApp, we have a few comments. So let's go over to WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. In the meantime, Tony is against single 6-year terms. Why, Tony?
It's very laughable because in our country, Nigeria, we have people who have selfish interests.
Okay.
Just me, in a country like Nigeria, let's have a 2-year term. Let the president deliver, and if he can't, or if governor, whoever, if you can't deliver, please shift and let the next person come. Entrenching a man in this country for 6 years in an office will spell doom for all the things we complain about. No food, no water, no everything. So I am against it.
Okay. All right, Tony. Thank you for calling to share your thoughts. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, thanks for calling.
Akin, calling from Ogun State.
Welcome, Akin. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think every December we have always have it like this. Price of goods always increase.
Okay.
There's always a little bit of inflation by December.
Okay.
And I know by January, most of this price will go down. That is how and who we are in this country.
Okay.
But, ma'am, it is sad. Someone called you now and said he used to bribe custom. Is that not smuggling?
It is
and
smuggling.
You fail to apprehend, just to correct him, what he's doing to the economy of this country. It takes two to do wrong. You, the giver, and the taker. Now, I think Nigerians should learn to do good things. Your government said, don't do this. You will still find another way to do what they asked you not to do. The first time they closed this border, fuel consumption went down. But now they are using cars. I live along the border route.
Okay.
Idiroko, to be precise.
Okay.
We know what goes on here. And that's who we are in this country. And it is sad. You are bribing the custom, and you are at the same time coming on here to condemn them. It is well with us in this country. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thanks for calling, Akin. We've got Daniel also calling into the show. Daniel is at Idiroko. Hello, Daniel. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Daniel. I'm calling from Idiroko border area in Ogun State.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually partially in support of what the government did concerning the closure of the border.
Okay.
It will help and boost our own economy.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's this method that I've been thinking about, and I wish the government had adopted that kind of thing, because it is our own people, really, that are making things difficult for the government. The rich men here, the so-called people who have petrol stations and all that, these are the people who are selling our fuel products to the neighboring countries. And because we don't have any job here, that is what we have, and that is what most people here are going into. But if the government had called these people, tell them, we don't want you to sell our fuel out. If you do, this is what we are going to do. One, for example, whoever is found wanting selling fuel to anybody through a particular form, the attendant should be arrested. That attendant should be billed with like 2 million naira.
But the attendant that has to be arrested by a customs official who's asking for bribes at the border, allegedly.
That is what I'm saying.
So who's going to arrest the attendant?
See, we have government, we have these people here. The government people are not doing their job. They are the ones collecting bribes and, freeing this world.
Exactly. So if we have massive corruption, so somebody who wants to smuggle things anyway, somebody who is willing to bribe a customs official anyway, a custom official who's going to collect bribe anyway, what's the answer? Is the answer to shut the border?
Let the government get scapegoats. All these rich men here, arrest a few of them, lock them up with their money, with their connections and all that. People will check up, people will sit tight and do the right thing.
All right, thank you for calling me, Daniel. Gbenga in Ikeja is in support of what? Gbenga, what are you in support of?
Concerning the border closure.
Go ahead, you're my last call.
Yes, we have to invest in agriculture ourselves. We have to produce. How can you allow foreigners to be feeding you? What does it they poison you? They are not even, or they modify your genes. They are not even afraid about that one. You should produce what you are going to eat so that you live healthy and with the food will be cheap. And when everybody invests in it,
Gbenga, what do you do?
I'm a farmer. I grew dollar chicken.
What do you grow?
I do chicken. I raise chicken.
You raise chicken, okay.
Yes.
How do you get your feeds? Where do you get your chicken feed from? I
go to the import, because the government input centers. They have nicer offices around where you can go and buy it from.
I see.
Qatar they are under economic sanctions. They shut. They are isolated. There is economic sanction upon them. They are prospering.
Qatar. Who sanctioned Qatar?
The Western countries and even the Middle East, Saudi Arabia. Take an embargo on them.
Is Qatar your mate? Qatar is not our mate. Qatar has oil. Qatar has massive oil. Qatar is not our mate. Which oil do you have?
We are the sixth oil producing country in the world.
And you think that compares you to Qatar?
Our economy is even more diversified than their own.
Oh, God. All right. Let me step away from this conversation. And then at 4 o'clock, let's find out what's happening at Oniru Market. It's 2 minutes to 4. I am Sandra Ezekwesili. At 5, we'll talk about the power sector, shall we? And we'll find out as well where Chukwudi Ezugu is. Don't go away.
This is Maureen Ogola reporting live from the Lagos State House alongside Keja.